All right, hello. My name's Andrea, or Drea for short. Today is Saturday, March 27th, 2021, and this is episode 12 of the DREA'S podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. So today we're doing things a little bit different. If this happens to be the first video of mine that you're seeing, first of all, welcome. Second of all, I usually do my podcasts live here on YouTube because I really enjoy doing that so that people can comment and we can interact, and it kind of just has like more of a community vibe to it. But today that was not in the cards. It seems like my Wi-Fi, my laptop, my microphone, every technical difficulty that I could possibly have happened today. So we're changing things up a little bit, and I am pre-recording this and uploading it, or I guess by the time you see this, it's uploaded. But I'm gonna try to keep things as like authentic as possible. I've gotten a lot of feedback that part of the reason why people like my podcast is because it's live and is because it's unedited. So I'm going to try to keep that vibe going, and we're just going to do this all in one take unless something really unusual happens. So all of that being said, just want to give a quick reminder here at the beginning of the video. If you enjoy the podcast and want to see more, definitely be sure to like the video, comment on it if you have any thoughts, and especially subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I have no finished objects since the last podcast. Because I just haven't, my fiance is like glaring at me. He's glaring at me. I have no finished objects because I wanted to start new projects. So
how many did you start?
I started 3, which is what I'm going to talk about. Are you trolling me because I'm not live?
A little.
Is that what's happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my fiance in the background. I don't know if y'all can hear him, but he's being mean. He's being a little mean, and we don't appreciate it. Anyway, so no finished objects, but I do have 3 new whips that I want to go ahead and show y'all. All right, little unorganized over here. So my first whip that I've started since the last podcast is this. It's the Classic Beanie by Woolly Wormhead, and the yarn that I'm using is Lion Brand Vanna's Choice in the colorway Silver Heather. So this is going to be for my dad. It's a very simple beanie, 2x2 ribbing, as you can see. You'll kind of notice that there's like some weird, I don't know if the stitches are twisted or what, but at some point I was trying to purl continental, but I was told that I was twisting the stitches, so that's probably what's going on there. But other than that, it looks pretty good, and I'm really happy with how quickly it's been working up. So this hat, it's a free pattern, by the way. It's for an adult small, adult medium, and adult large. I'm making the adult medium for my dad, just because that kind of seems like a safe option. I really hope it fits. It should. I think it'll fit. It better fit. So yeah, I'm making a medium. And so I currently have 4.5 inches of this worked right now, but the decreases start at 7 3/4 inches. So we're getting pretty close to starting to be able to do the decreases. Like I said, it's working up very quickly, and I'm really happy. It's a very like chill project. I'll often like pick this up when I'm like needing a break from work or something. I had to do a training at work earlier this week, and I just like let the video play and worked on this. So very simple project, 2x2 ribbing, and yeah, it's going really well. And I have to say, I was not initially a fan of having to do ribbing of any sort because, like, since I knit English, having to switch between the knit stitch and the purl stitch is kind of a lot for me. So I thought that the ribbing was going to be really slow, but it's working up a lot quicker than I thought, and it's very enjoyable. So yeah, this is the Classic Beanie. All right. Next project Okay, I've got to make sure my yarn doesn't get tangled here. Also, I keep hitting stuff, sorry. All right, so my next project is Tunisian crochet actually. So this is the Adventurous Scarf by TL Yarn Crafts, and the yarn that I'm using is the Fiber and Color minis. So Fiber and Color is basically a monthly collection that's run by Darcy Does It. She partners with dyers in the She partners with dyers in the BIPOC community, that's the Black, Indigenous, and People of Color community, and every month they do something different. So for the month of February, since it was Black History Month, they did a, I guess like Black cinema thing where it's very similar to an advent. Each day in the month of February, you opened a different mini skein, and there were 3 different dyers that participated, and each of them did a popular Black movie. So those dyers were Fully Spun, Naughty Buffalo, and Wild Star Fibers. In episode 11 of the podcast, which is the previous episode, it is linked down below, I actually open all but one of the mini skeins. So if you're interested in seeing what those look like, definitely be sure to check out that episode. But anyway, so I am using those minis to make my Adventurous Scarf, and I am modifying it a little bit. So the original scarf was designed to be used with 13 mini skeins because that is a very typical number of skeins that you would get in a yarn advent. That you would get in a yarn advent around the holidays in December. But since I have this one, the Fiber and Color minis, I have 28 skeins, which is more than double 13. So what I'm going to do is, instead of making it a scarf, I'm doubling the width of the Adventurous Scarf, so that way it's more of a wrap. So the original dimensions of the scarf is 11.5 inches wide and 85 inches long, but I'm hoping that my scarf will be 23 inches wide and 85 inches long. So it's going to be twice as wide as what it's originally intended to be. So I've made quite a bit of progress already. This project is a lot of fun. It's very meditative, and it's really cool to see how the striping is working out. And if you're not familiar with Tunisian crochet, it does have a tendency to roll up a little bit, so I apologize for that. I'm doing my best to kind of show the full thing, but in reality, you're probably not going to get a good idea of what it looks like until it's done and I've blocked it. But basically the idea is that you are striping 2 skeins, and then when you run out of one color, then you add a different color. So far I have used 3 colors in the scarf. So I've used all of the black that you see here, and I'm still in the process of using this kind of like white with red and black speckles, and I don't know what any of these colorways are called, so don't ask. Like I said, it's in episode 11 of the podcast. And then the third color that I've added is this kind of, okay, I apologize for the lighting here. It is not wanting to cooperate. There we go. So the third color that I've added is this kind of like purple and gray. Let me see if I can hold it up for you, because it's really hard to tell when it's striped with this white. It's very low contrast, which I think is interesting because I started off with like this super high contrast black and white stripes, and then this is very low contrast. So I'm curious to see how that pattern is going to manifest itself as I add more and more colors to the scarf. And the way that I've decided to order the colors, I'm kind of doing a reverse rainbow order. So I started with like the blacks and the whites, and then I'm going to do the purples, blues, greens, yellows, oranges, reds, pinks. And I'm really kind of happy with this mini collection because there actually is a pretty, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but there's like a pretty good representation of all the colors of the rainbow. So I think it's going to look really pretty by the time it's done. So I'm really excited about that. One thing though that this made me realize, and if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me post about this in my stories a couple weeks ago, but something about the way that Tunisian crochet works, like the different motions you have to do, it really did a number on my wrist. And you know, part of it is my fault because I basically worked on this project nonstop. I guess it was 3 weekends ago, without like, you know, listening to my body and being like, maybe I should stop before I hurt myself. So I am partially to blame for that, but also I think that it has to do with the tools that I'm using. So I wasn't planning on showing it, but I just so happened to have it over here. This is the hook that I've been using. It's a hook set. It's like 12 hooks that range from like a 3.5 millimeter to a 10 millimeter. So it's a pretty decent starting range. You can do most, like basically any like Tunisian crochet project with that range of hooks. Super inexpensive, got it off of Amazon. It was like $13 or something like that. The actual hook part is made of carbonized bamboo, I believe. And then the cord is 48 inches long. It's like this hollow plastic tube and it has a bead as a stopper. So I think that's something, the hook itself is very light, but I think there's something either about like the way I'm holding the hook or the way I'm holding my work, or just kind of like the weight of this cord, because I think the cord is actually heavier than the hook. So one of those factors, or maybe like some combination of them, is what has been causing me pain. So I am really hoping to get like a nicer Tunisian crochet hook set soon because, you know, I didn't know if I was gonna like Tunisian crochet, so I didn't want to make like too much of an upfront investment. But now that I know that I do like it, I want to invest in something a little nicer so that I don't keep hurting myself. So that's the story with the Adventurous Scarf. I haven't really worked on it much lately because of the wrist injury, and honestly I'm still kind of recovering from my wrist because I don't want to exacerbate the energy and make it something that's permanent. So that's why I've been knitting a lot, because knitting doesn't hurt my hands and wrists as much as like crochet and Tunisian crochet does. So I guess that's something good that came out of that ordeal, but I'm really hoping to get back to working on this soon because I really enjoy how it's going. All right, moving on to the next project. The next project is a knit shawl, and it is for some reason like at the bottom of my bag here. Please hold. All right, so this next project has tangled yarn because that's the story of my life, basically. See, this would definitely be happening live too, so y'all aren't missing anything. It's fine. This is exactly what would happen live. I'll worry about it later. Okay. So it's going to be very hard to see the full extent of this since it's on a circular needle set, but this is the Stripe Steady Shawl by Vera Rain, and the yarn that I'm using is Sorella yarn sock yarn in 2 different colors. My color A is called Tea Time. Lighting doesn't want to cooperate. It's kind of like a very light cream base with like pink and orange and blue and a few purple speckles. Very pretty. And then my color B is this beautiful tonal called Inkwell. So huge fan of those colors. So this is my first knit shawl, obviously. And like I said, it's unfortunately really hard to see what it looks like when it's bunched up on the needles like this. But it is an asymmetrical triangle shawl. So you can see that the stripes are a little bit thicker on this end than they are on this end, and that's due to short rows. So that's what's going to give it that kind of asymmetrical look. So as far as how far I am on the shawl, there are going to be 12 of these blue stripes and then another solid section of tea time after that. So I'm currently in the middle of the 5th stripe. I've been pleasantly surprised by like how quickly this is working up, but of course the rows are going to get longer and longer and longer, but it hasn't gotten to the point where I feel like the rows are too long yet. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this. I've been primarily working on this project the past couple of weeks because, like I said earlier, taking a little bit of a break from crochet to protect my hands and wrists and avoid injuring myself. And this has been a really fun project to work on. So I'm really excited to get this one finished. It's going to be amazing. I do want to note though, as always, I have all of the projects that I talk about linked in the description below, but to my knowledge, this pattern is only available on Ravelry. So if you're not able to access Ravelry or you're otherwise not using it, I just wanted to let you know that it is a Ravelry link. I also have that warning next to the link, so hopefully you don't miss it. But I definitely just wanted to go ahead and reiterate it here that it is a Ravelry link, unfortunately. But yeah, this is a very fun project and I'm really enjoying it. All right, we're just moving right along. I think these do go a little faster without responding to chat, but I really like the chat. Y'all will have to let me know if y'all prefer pre-recorded or the lives. I think I prefer the lives, but definitely interested to hear y'all's thoughts on that. And get some water. When you're talking for 17 minutes straight, you need water. My straw is really loud today. All right, so those are all of my new whips. Now we're moving into the section of the podcast where we talk about old whips, and this one has been around for a while. It's been around for a while. If you've been following along with the podcast, I'm pretty sure this shawl has basically been in like every episode since I started. Soundwave. The Soundwave Shawl by Stephanie Aaron. The yarn that I'm using, the main color is LaRue Cotton Tinsel Fingering. And this colorway is called After the Rain. As you can see, I'm almost done with it because I'm almost done with the shawl. And then the mohair is Sorella Yarn Mohair in the colorway Voyager. Y'all, why am I not done with this shawl yet? I have been working on it since September. Why is it not finished yet? I'm so mad at myself. And like, I love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Like, look how huge it is. Look how airy it is. Look at this drape. Look at this float. Why haven't I finished it yet? Why haven't I finished it yet? I'm gonna go ahead and try it on just so y'all can see. Like, it's absolutely stunning. It actually covers your arms. Why haven't I finished it yet? So I have made a little progress since I talked about it in episode 11. I think I've done like one row. So I'm currently on row 41 of 44. I'm so close. I'm so close to being done, but these rows are so long. They're like 450 stitches. They're so long. I'm so tired, but I really want to finish it, and my wrist is feeling a little bit better. So I'm hoping that I can crochet a little bit more now, but yeah, I started this shawl in September. It is September 2020. It is basically April 2021. I need to finish this. I had actually said that I was hoping to finish it by the end of February, but some stuff came up in February, mainly a huge ice storm where I lost power for 4 days. Anyway, so I got a little bit derailed on that, but yeah, I'm ready to put this one to bed. I need to put it to bed. It's time. So if y'all could like hold me accountable, if you're comfortable with doing that, I would really appreciate it, because it just seems like my new projects that I've started are a lot more interesting than this. But I'm tired of this like staring at me like, why haven't you finished this yet, you know? So I need to go ahead and finish it so that I can wear it and enjoy it, because that's the thing, you know, that's with most whips that I end up abandoning. It's because I've decided that I'm not going to get much use out of the finished project. But in the case of the Soundwave shawl, I know for a fact that I will wear this all the time. I will enjoy it. I will love it. But for some reason, I just can't bring myself to finish it. So I'm not sure what kind of like mental block is going on there, but I need for it to not, because I need for it to finish. I need to finish it because it's absolutely stunning and it's huge. I love large fingering white shawls. That is my jam. So yeah, I just need to go ahead and finish this. All that to say is that I need to go ahead and finish it. So yeah, that's the Soundwave shawl. It's still not done. Could use some accountability. Thanks. Anyway, we're just gonna put that away. Let's put it away. All right, let's see what's next. So yeah, those are all the projects that I had to talk about today, but I do have a few acquisitions that I wanted to talk about. So let me go ahead and get those pulled out. All right, I think that's everything. So, if you're active in the fiber arts community on Instagram, you might know that Knitbrooks is doing or was doing, I'm not sure if it's still going on, but at some point there was something going on called the Creative Roots Challenge, where there would be a prompt every week, and then you would like put a post on your grid addressing the prompt, and then you would be entered to win prizes. It was a weekly thing. I literally only did it one time, and I usually don't win giveaways, but by some miracle, I happened to win the giveaway for the month of September 2020 for the Creative Roots Challenges. So I got a prize, and it's actually a pretty decent prize. So I wanted to go ahead and show y'all this. So the first part of the prize was, of course, some yarn. I have these 3 skeins from Crux Fibers. So these two are called, the colorway is called Beach Glass, and this is her sock base. So her sock base is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon, and it's 4-ply. So it's a very pretty colorway. It's probably not something I would have bought for myself, but it definitely has a lot of elements that I like. You know, I'm really into speckled yarns these days, and I'm especially really kind of liking this like burgundy purple speckles that are kind of going on through it. I think it's a really pretty colorway. And then the other skein that I got from her is their Surrey base. Surrey. I always want to say Siri, but it's Surrey. So this colorway is called Mint, and this base is 74% baby Surrey alpaca and 26% silk. So yeah, this is very interesting. I've never worked with Surrey before. It's very similar to mohair, except they come from 2 different animals. So mohair is from the Angora goat, I believe, and Surrey is from the Surrey alpaca. And from what I can tell, this is a lot softer than mohair, or at least the mohair that I was using in Soundwave. It's very soft, very soft. And I can tell, like, just by kind of like looking at a strand of it, it's a little bit fuzzier than mohair as well. So I'm thinking that it probably has a lot of the same properties as mohair, where it's absolutely gorgeous worked up, but it is a pain in the butt to frog it or entangle it. If you've been watching the podcast for a while, you know that half of my struggles with the Soundwave shawl has been untangling the mohair or frogging back the mohair. That is definitely something that has slowed me down a lot. So I'm interested to see how the suri works up. But yeah, I have no idea what to do with these. So if y'all have any suggestions for either 2 skeins of sock yarn or a skein of suri, or 2 skeins of sock yarn and a skein of suri, I am definitely open to those suggestions. It's very obvious that these were meant to be part of the same project and coordinate with each other. So I would definitely love to hear y'all's thoughts, and it can be crochet, knit, or Tunisian crochet. So yeah, let me know. And if you've ever worked with suri before, I would love to hear about your experience. So if that's you, drop a comment below and let me know how that went for you. So that's just one part of the prize. The second part of the prize is this cute notions patch by Cassiosa Crafts. Cassiosa, I think I'm saying that right. Caseosa. So yeah, it's a notions patch. You can tell that it also kind of coordinates with the yarn a little bit. You've got that kind of like sea foam teal vibe going on, and I also really like the gold accents on this as well. So it looks like it has tigers on it, and it's absolutely stunning. Really looking forward to using this because I stay losing my notions. I have stitch markers all over the floor. It's pretty bad. And then the last part of the prize are these stitch markers by Sassy Strings Yarn Studio. Pretty simple. They're basically kind of like raindrop shaped or teardrop shaped, but you can never have too many stitch markers, right? So really excited to use these as well. So yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and show y'all those because I like literally never win giveaways. So I was very excited to find out that I won this. And I'm hoping to get good use out of these items. Alrighty, need more water. All right, and then the last acquisition that I wanted to talk about, I believe I mentioned in the last podcast episode, or maybe it was one of my Instagram lives. I don't know. I've been talking about it for a while, but I was in the market for an interchangeable knitting needle set now that I'm getting a little bit more serious about knitting. So the most recommended one that I got by far is the Chagu interchangeable knitting needle set. So I just kind of wanted to go through and share what all comes with it. It is a bit of an investment. I paid $150 for this. That's a lot of money. But yeah, I know some people might be curious about this, so I kind of wanted to briefly go through and share my thoughts on it. So yeah, like I said, this is the Chagu interchangeable knitting needle set. I got the version that has 4-inch needles. I believe there's a version that has 5-inch needles. And the set that I have is the complete set, so it ranges from a US size 2 to a US size 15. For my international friends, that would be a 2.75 millimeter to a 10 millimeter. So you've got the full range here. You can make everything up to socks to like bulky sweaters with this set. So this is what it looks like on the inside. I believe there's 13 different sizes in here. You can see I have a couple of needles missing here. I believe I'm using the 4 millimeter for my striped steady shawl, and I'm using the 4.5 millimeter for my classic beanie. But yeah, this is how it comes. So I guess I could like go ahead. I've like never talked about a knitting needle set before. So I hope I'm not like leaving any important information out. So just using these as an example, 4 inches long, and it comes with the cords. So it comes with 8-inch, 14-inch, and 22-inch cords. I'm finding that the 14-inch is working really good for the classic beanie, and I'm currently using the 22-inch for the stripe study shawl, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to make the cord longer, which I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then of course the 8-inch would be really good for socks. So I don't know, should I do a little demo? I kind of want to do a little demo. So basically, also I did not plan this, clearly, slightly unprepared, but it's fine. So you have your cord, right? And the knitting needles are set up to where you can like screw them into the cord. So you just twist, twist, twist. Same thing on the other side. Twist, twist, twist. And now you have your circular needles. So another thing that the set comes with, I mean, there's several other things, but something that I'm really excited about is the cable connectors. So you can use the cable connectors to put two different cords together and get a longer cord. So they're super tiny, so I'm kind of scared that I'm gonna lose these, but that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. So you would just, oh my goodness. I already lost it, y'all. Oh wait, I found it. This is real life, folks. Doing great. All right, so yeah, you put the cable connector into one end of the needle, and then you would take your other cord and connect it like that. Not like that. You would actually not drop it. And then you would go ahead and put your needle on here. And now you have a longer cord. So I think that's going to come in handy, especially if you're doing like sweaters and shawls and like those really large projects. That 22-inch cord might not be enough for you, so it would be good to be able to put them together like that. The set also comes with cord keys that you're supposed to use to tighten the connection between the needle and the cord, which I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't know how to use this. Like, I'm not ashamed to admit that. Y'all know I keep it real on here. And honestly, I haven't really had the need to use it. I have not had any issues with the needles coming undone from the cord. So I guess you could use this if, let me get closer. I guess you can use this if you want that extra peace of mind, but so far I haven't had any issues. And then it also comes with end stoppers so that your stitches don't slide off of your needles. Or, sorry, that was wrong. It's like if you wanted to like switch your needles out for a project for any reason, you would put these on the end of the cord, so that your stitches don't slide off of the cable. So those will probably come in handy as well. And then it comes with these stitch markers that I really like. I've been using most of these little pink ones on my stripe study shawl, and the stitch markers come in like all of these different diameters for various sized needles. So wait, one more thing. This comes with a lot. It comes with a needle gauge, so if for some reason you forget what size needle you're using, you can use this to identify the diameter of the needle. Okay, so that was a lot. Comes with a lot. I'm really enjoying this set. Very like user-friendly, and I find that the needle tips themselves are actually pretty lightweight, so I've actually been able to knit a little faster than I was with my previous knitting needle set, so that's really exciting. And I can definitely tell, or I can definitely understand why the Chagu set comes so highly recommended. So I'm hoping to do like a full-fledged review at some point. I know I just kind of gave y'all my initial thoughts right now, but I want to try using like the various sizes and really kind of like put the set through its paces with like different fibers, different size projects, different types of projects, etc., so that I can give y'all the complete picture. So that review is not going to be coming for a while, but that's definitely something that was requested and something that I'm really excited about doing. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts on the Chagu interchangeable knitting needle set. All right, so that's it for acquisitions. We're gonna start wrapping up here. This is definitely quite a bit shorter than my podcasts usually are, but I hope that y'all enjoy it nonetheless. So I do have a few announcements here at the end before I say goodbye. So I do this podcast monthly, at least for the time being. So episode 13 of the podcast is going to be on April 24th. I'm also planning on doing a make with me over here on YouTube at some point during the month of April. I'm not sure if it's going to be next week. It might be the week after. So definitely make sure that you're following me over on Instagram. It's at DREA'S Hook, at DREA'S_HOOK. It's linked down in the description below. Definitely be sure that you're following me over there. Because that's the best place to stay up to date with when I'm going to be doing stuff over here, because YouTube doesn't want me to communicate with y'all, apparently. Also, another reason to keep up on Instagram is that I do make with me's over there on the weeknights. It's a really cool way to wind down after a long day at work or whatever and just hang out. We chat. I have like some lo-fi beats going on in the background. It's a really good time. So those are very impromptu. I literally decide like 2 hours before I go live that I'm going to go live, but those are always a lot of fun. Another thing I wanted to mention is I'm kind of like re-releasing my crochet skill level quiz. So just to give you like a quick overview, the crochet skill level quiz is a really quick quiz that you can take to figure out your crochet skill level. So that's if you're a beginner, advanced beginner, intermediate, or advanced crocheter. So I released it last summer and it was absolutely free. The only thing that you had to do was sign up for my email list. To make a very long story short, the email list is kind of in transition. It's a very long story. So I have listed the crochet levels quiz, y'all, I made this. Why don't I know what it's called? The crochet skill level quiz over on PayHip. So there's two different versions of the quiz. The first one is absolutely free, and that's just a PDF of the quiz that you can print out and fill out yourself, add your score up yourself. The second version is the premium version that comes with a spreadsheet that will add up your score for you, and that one costs $3. So I still want to, it was very important to me that the quiz still be available for free in some capacity, but if you want things to go a little bit faster and you don't really feel like doing math, then the premium version is probably going to be the way to go. So that is also, both versions are also linked in Both versions are also linked in the description below. And like I said, one more reminder here at the end, please be sure to like and comment on this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. We just hit 100 subscribers about a month ago, which is really awesome, and I had a giveaway for that. So our next giveaway will be triggered at 500 subscribers. So definitely make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this. All right, I think this went pretty well, pre-recorded instead of doing it live. It's about 20 minutes shorter than what we usually do, but I do miss like chatting with y'all during. I think it kind of adds like the spontaneous aspect to the podcast, but I kind of like doing it this way too. This was good. So yeah, I will talk to y'all later. I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good rest of your week, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.